The movie opens with James, a young secret agent and personal bodyguard for the United States Embassy in France. Assigned by the U.S. ambassador, his task is to change the license plate of a car parked in the embassy's basement, a routine duty done to safeguard visiting dignitaries. Despite James' desire for more challenging assignments, he dutifully completes each mission. Returning home to his apartment shared with his girlfriend Caroline, a chance encounter turned romantic partner, James finds solace in her company. However, his routine is disrupted when tasked with escorting the U.S. ambassador to a state meeting where he's instructed to discreetly install wiretapping chips. Upon returning home, James discovers blood splattered on his apartment door, igniting fears for Caroline's safety. As it turned out, the droplets on the door were just sauce from the food Caroline had brought earlier. During dinner, Caroline surprises James by proposing to him with her father's ring, taking the initiative since James hadn't proposed yet. Amidst the intimacy of the moment, James receives a call from his office, informing him of his promotion and assigning him to accompany a secret agent on an important mission. That night, after dinner, James rushes to the airport to free a detained secret agent. There, he meets Charlie, a fellow secret agent who becomes his partner on the mission. Charlie was detained for carrying a canned drink into France, which concealed his favorite weapon. After negotiating with airport officials, they are finally released and head to a Chinese restaurant for dinner, where Charlie explains the reason for hiding his weapon inside the drink can. Upon arriving at the Chinese restaurant, Charlie suddenly takes a waiter hostage and starts shooting, revealing the establishment as a hub for drug dealing. James, caught off guard by Charlie's brutal actions, watches in disbelief. It becomes evident that the restaurant serves as a cover for cocaine trafficking. After Charlie shoots the restaurant's roof, he tasks James with collecting the spilled cocaine as evidence, leaving a waiter alive to lead them to the boss. They follow him, encountering resistance from street thugs. Despite James' discomfort with violence, Charlie easily dispatches the thugs. Pursuing the waiter to the drug mafia boss's location, they confront him and demand information with James translating. With the necessary intel obtained, they make a hasty exit, only to find themselves pursued by the mafia boss's men. The chase and shootout between the drug mafia's men and the two secret agents finally erupts. Fortunately, Charlie manages to defeat all the attackers, ensuring both his and James' survival. Following the incident, James voices his concerns about Charlie's aggressive methods to his superiors. However, he's instructed to continue following Charlie's lead as the mission is of utmost importance. The next morning, James and Charlie reconvene at the Eiffel Tower to continue their mission. Seeing James' nervous demeanor, Charlie suggests he take a sip of the cocaine they recovered to ease his tension. Charlie then reveals the true scope of their mission, targeting not only the drug mafia but also terrorist cells operating in Paris. The revelation leaves James surprised and apprehensive about the dangerous task ahead. That afternoon, they head to a location notorious for drug transactions, planning to infiltrate the area by posing as gangsters seeking prostitutes. However, their cover is compromised when James is recognized by Caroline, who happened to be nearby after shopping for cloth. Panicked, James chastises Charlie for not informing him about the true nature of their mission beforehand. Charlie explains that their actual objective is to spy on a Chinese restaurant behind the building. While James is on the phone with Caroline, he's suddenly attacked by two assailants, but Charlie swiftly eliminates them. After hours of surveillance, they spot two male drug buyers leaving the restaurant and tail them to a residential building. Pretending to be drug buyers themselves, they're granted access by the building's guard. After gathering sufficient evidence, Charlie takes a dealer hostage, prompting the others in the room to aim their weapons at him and James. However, the dealers flee in fear upon realizing they're dealing with secret agents. Charlie and James coerce the captive dealer to lead them to the drug boss, Reece, who is unfortunately absent. Charlie then spies on bomb assembly activities using a mirror and decisively breaks into the room, eliminating the criminals inside. Despite his swift action, 3 terrorists manage to escape, but Charlie swiftly dispatches them using a leftover homemade bomb. Upon noticing surveillance photos of himself on the wall, James realizes his activities have been under long-term observation. Before they can leave, the police arrive, forcing Charlie to detonate a bomb planted by the terrorists, allowing them to escape in the ensuing chaos. Returning to James' apartment, they have dinner with Caroline, reflecting on the day's events. That night, Caroline invites a female friend to help prepare dinner. Just before they begin, Charlie receives a call regarding classified information. During dinner, Charlie unexpectedly shoots Caroline's friend, claiming she and Caroline are spies for the Paris terrorist leader. Despite Charlie's assertions and evidence of surveillance devices planted by Caroline, James refuses to believe it, leading to a heated argument. Amidst the chaos, Caroline reveals a hidden gun and shoots James before fleeing through the window. Though Charlie attempts to pursue her, she escapes in a waiting car. Desperate to locate Caroline, Charlie contacts his partner to track her using the car's license plate number. The next morning, Charlie discovers over 50 bugs hidden in James' apartment, further shaking his belief in Caroline's innocence. However, Caroline reaches out to James via a paid phone call to apologize, triggering a swift response from embassy hackers who trace her location. During the call, Caroline recounts a life-changing encounter 6 years prior, explaining her allegiance to a man who saved her life and shaped her worldview. After hanging up the phone, Caroline approaches the man she referred to, who is revealed to be Reece, the head of the terrorist organization in the city. Meanwhile, James and the others discover Caroline's destination through embassy wiretapping. Upon realizing that the location is the site of a conference between the US and African delegations, James deduces that Caroline's terrorist group plans to bomb the venue. Acting swiftly, Charlie mobilizes his colleagues to escort the US delegation to the conference. En route, Charlie spots a car previously driven by Caroline and gives chase. However, he receives a call from James informing him that Caroline is not in the car, indicating she may have already headed to the conference. Despite this, Charlie continues pursuit as Reece intends to detonate the US delegation's car. Catching up to Reece's vehicle, Charlie wastes no time in destroying it before it can reach its intended target. As James recovers from his gunshot wound, he rushes to the conference meeting location. However, he's detained by security for carrying a gun. Fortunately, the US ambassador intervenes, allowing James entry. Inside, James searches for Caroline, determined to prevent her from detonating explosives strapped to her body. Upon locating her, James confronts Caroline and attempts to convince her to abandon her plan. When Caroline refuses and moves to trigger the bomb, James is left with no choice but to shoot her. Charlie arrives and disables the bomb, ensuring the safety of everyone present. With the crisis averted, the conference proceeds smoothly and the film concludes with James and Charlie preparing for their next mission. Through its gripping narrative, the film imparts the importance of understanding and choosing partners wisely in relationships. Movie ends here. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing the channel. Thank you.